October 1st of 2016, I was able to harvest my biggest buck ever, my oldest buck ever. This buck is 5.5 years old, and today I'm going to walk you through the steps I took to find this deer and how I snuck in right in his bedroom and I was able to get it done early season. I'm going to explain the benefits of using a tree saddle system and how it helped me kill this nice buck. So in my postseason scouting, I was going over this area, and what we have here is just a little 2 to 3 acre patch of laurel on the side of this mountain. So this is the leeward side of the hill, which means the predominant wind, south-southwest, comes over this hill. So these deer like to bed in this area. So while I was walking this area postseason, which would be about this time of year in March, I found a bed right up here on this hill. A big, well-worn bed that I knew a big buck might use to get a wind advantage and a sight advantage up here on the side of this hill. So I marked this spot on my GPS, and later in the summer I come back in here and I set a trail camera. And what that trail camera showed was 2, 3, sometimes 4 different bucks coming out of this area. So with that little bit of information, I was able to know what wind direction these bucks were using this bed on and when I might want to hunt it. So what I'm going to do is show you this bed, show you what he can see out of this bed, and then I'm going to show you how I accessed it and the tree that I used. Alright, so I am sitting in this bed right now. It's a perfect little divot in the side of this hill. Got some cover here with this laurel, good back cover with this tree. So as he's sitting here, he can see the open woods in front of him. He's got cover behind him, a steep hill right here, where it drops off right here at the bed. So anything that comes from below, he can see. Anything that's from behind with a predominant southwest west wind coming over him, he can smell it. So it's just a perfect setup for a lone buck that's bedded here, so all of his senses are used. And when I found this spot, it was just like a no-brainer that a big buck would bed right here. It's just an awesome spot. So my goal is, when I find a bed like this, is just to try to figure out how I can get in here as close as possible in the early season when he's not moving that far. I can see what he would see, and right now the woods are a lot more open because there's no leaves on the trees, so I got to keep that in mind. So with these little saplings that are down here in front of me, I know that when the leaves are on, he's not going to be able to see past that. So I'm going to use that to my advantage, and I'm going to show you how I accessed this creek bottom down here the day that I killed him. Alright, so we found our buck bed up here in this laurel thicket. So as I was sitting in the bed, I was paying attention to what he could see below. So now I'm down here approximately 70 yards away where I think I can get into and get set up. The laurel thicket is right up here, and that bed is right on that edge. So we've got all these little saplings that'll have leaves on them early fall. We've got another advantage right here. We've got a maple tree that'll have leaves in it to block the view of the buck. So when I came in here right before season and I set a camera out to try to figure out what bucks were using this bedding area, there was a faint rub line coming from that bed, traveling right down this hill, right along this edge of brush right here. So with that knowledge, thinking that he might exit and come low, and then looking at this cover that'll block his view from mine, this is the tree that I picked right here, this maple tree. So after I picked the tree, the only way I could figure out how to get in here was to come in from the bottom, the southwest wind, so the wind would be right in my face. So I'm going to take you down here and show you exactly how I accessed it and climbed this tree. Alright, so I showed you the bedding area all the way up on top of this hill. I showed you the tree that I plan to use. So this is where it all started the day of the hunt. I'm in this creek bottom. The bed is about 300 yards up on this hill. So you got to imagine in the early season, all these small trees have leaves on them. So use the wind to my advantage. Wind's in my face the whole time. And I'm going to use this old logging road to slip up here. And this is where stealth is the name of the game. So the first half mile, burn the woods down, walk as fast as I need to because I know exactly where that buck's bedding at. When I get within inside that last 200 yards, that's where I slow way down. That's where having this saddle and super lightweight gear comes into play, because I'll take a step. If I make any kind of noise, I stop and I wait and listen and watch. And that's the whole key to this style of hunting, is being patient enough to that last 200 yards where you can slow way down and not alert that buck that you're coming in there. That's where I think a lot of guys mess up, is they just rush in there and they bump him out, and it ends your hunt before it even begins. So I'm going to show you how I slipped up this road here, not making any noise, and that's all the hunt come down to, was that right there. Alright, so I've made it to my tree without making very much noise at all. So now it comes time to climb. So this is where proficiency and efficiency with your climbing gear comes into play. Doesn't matter if you use climbing spikes like I do, or climbing sticks, anything, just be good at using it. That's all I can say. And the name of the game here is just quiet, steady, nice and slow. We're not in a race. Our goal is to get up this tree without that buck that's bedded 70 yards away hearing us. So I've got my climbing spikes. I'm going to strap them on, and I'm going to slowly work my way up this tree. That sucker was bedded right here. I saw his rack. He fed his way out here. 40 yards, I freaking smoked him. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you can take something away from it. I'm not a special hunter by any means. I just like to push the envelope a little bit and try to get in close to these bedded bucks. If you want more information on hunting this way, go to thehuntingbeast.com. Dan Infalt, I've learned everything as far as this technique from him. You know, he deserves all the credit for teaching everybody how to hunt this way, and it's really helped me a lot. So go check out his site and his videos, and you'll get a lot more information than what I can provide. And if you guys want information on saddle hunting and gear, go to saddlehunter.com. It's the biggest forum of saddle hunters in the world. It's run by a great group of guys. There's tons of good information on there. So if there's anything you might want to know about saddle hunting, saddlehunter.com. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.